Welcome back. So in this video, we will be covering FIFO, so with the perpetual and the periodic method. So FIFO is first in, first out, and this is actually the same for under the periodic and the perpetual method. So under FIFO, we assume that the earliest goods purchased are the first goods to be sold. This generally most accurately reflects how companies buy and sell goods. So most companies will want to sell their oldest inventory first. Um, and so they follow that would follow this FIFO method. So ending inventory will reflect the costs of the most recently purchased units. And then our cost of goods sold will um, be comprised of our oldest purchase units. So let's jump back into our example here. So all of our purchases and sales are outlined. And so with FIFO and LIFO, or with FIFO, we can just start at the beginning and work our way down. So our goal is to get to 4,600 units. These are the total units that we've sold. So we're just going to start with our beginning balance. So we had 600 at $6, and we're going to keep moving down our inventory account until we've reached 4,600. So we'll add in the 1,500 that we purchased on the 4th at $6.08. We'll add in the 800 that we purchased on the 8th at $6.40. We will add the purchase on the 13th of 1,200 units at $6.50. And then if we go ahead and add those four purchases up, we can see that we get to 4,100 here. And so our total units that we need for calculating our sales are 4,600. So once we start getting close to our total, then we want to check and see how many more we need. So at this point, we need 500 more units to reach our units sold. So if we look at our next purchase here on the 21st, we can see that we purchased 700. So we don't need this full 700. We only need 500 units from this purchase. So we'll take 500 at $6.60. And so we've used up this purchase, this purchase, this purchase, and this purchase here. And then of this purchase on the 21st, we took out 500 units. So we have a remaining, 200 units in this purchase. So back to calculating our cost of goods sold. So if we go ahead and multiply all of these out, so 600 by $6, we'll get 3,600, then 9,120, 5,120, 7,800, and then finally 3,300. If we add all of that up, we'll have a total cost of goods sold of 28,940. If we add up our total units as a check, we can see that we got to 4,600 units that we sold. And then we can calculate ending inventory in one of two ways. So we can either manually calculate it by looking at what we have left. So we can see here that we have 200 units at $6.60. And then we have 500 at $6.79. So I just pulled that from these two lines right here. So if we go ahead and multiply those out, we'll get 1,320 for our second to last purchase, and then 3,395 for our last purchase. And so we'll have a total of 700 units in our ending inventory with a total cost of our ending inventory of 4,715. So ending inventory and cost of goods sold values are the same under FIFO, whether we use the perpetual or the periodic method, because it doesn't really matter if we're updating our purchase or our sales as we go throughout the year or at the end. We're always going to be pulling from the oldest batch first. And so with FIFO perpetual and periodic, we're going to get the same amounts for cost of goods sold and ending inventory. So if we want to go ahead and add those to our charts, we can actually fill in 2 more buckets here. So our ending inventory under FIFO, periodic, and perpetual is going to be 4,715. And then our cost of goods sold under both is going to be 28,940. And again, we can do a check and add our ending inventory to our cost of goods sold. So if we do that, we should get 33,655, which is also equal to our cost of goods available for sale. So that was a good check figure.